Now, the phenomenon of where you have brothers who it seem like as soon as they get famous, they go out and get a woman that's not black. That's not quite how it necessarily happens. One way it can appear to be that way. Hold on. One way it can appear to be that way, even though it isn't, is that the girl could have been with him from jump. See, a lot of times, a lot of the guys that have the traits that are considered to be that help build success are just not liked by younger black women. Then when they get old, because the guys are too nice or whatever. Then when they get old and they've arrived, the women want to cry foul when they didn't want the guy in the first place. Now, if that doesn't happen, you do have self-hating black men who are rewarded by the system. I have noticed that people who I suspect are racist tend to feel more comfortable around black people who are self-hating. Let's say, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say you had like a white school teacher who really doesn't like black people deep down inside, but she may be teaching in a predominantly black environment. Since she'll be nicer to children who she picks up on, subconsciously or consciously picks up on that they don't like being black or they don't like other black people, she will gravitate towards them. They'll like school more, etc., etc. So in time, you would see that they will not be as adverse to education and they will be able to move up and become more scholarly, which can lead to more opportunities in the future. Because, face it, whether we like it or not, the system does reward a Eurocentric mindset. And we can counter that by being hardworking and not adopting a Eurocentric mindset. But let's not fool ourselves. If you have a Eurocentric mindset, it is much easier for you to move ahead in this world because since the people who still hold the power have a Eurocentric mindset, they're going to feel more comfortable around you. Another way it can appear that, or it can be that, hey, as soon as a brother gets some money, he got to go off and get somebody that's not black or whatever, is that since the people who have more money in our country aren't black, the guys who are more successful and do have more money are going to end up being around them. And if they're around them, they're going to be more than likely around women that aren't black. So therefore, if they have money and then they end up being around people that have money, then it's more likely that they're going to end up with a woman who is not black. Now, how can we counteract this? Simple. Sisters, you gotta get them while they're diamonds in the rough. That's right. So that means if he doesn't have a car right now, see, it's different reasons why a brother may be broke. A brother could be broke because he's just not working and doesn't want to do anything, or he could be broke because he spent his money on college tuition. You have got to learn the difference. He's living at home with his mama. Maybe he's living at home with his mama because he's working on his PhD, or he's saving money for his business, or his mother is not doing well physically, and he moved back home to help take care of the woman who gave him life. How about that? See, you got to stop going for the short term. You can't have 5 kids by the drug dealer, living high on the hog. Then when the drug dealer gets locked up, you're going to turn around and cry because yesterday's nerd won't date you. You can't reject yesterday's nerd and say, oh, now think about this for a second. Let's say there's a guy that everybody's been calling an Oreo. You act white. You an Oreo. You talk like you white. You like all that white stuff. So, that person, that guy goes off and gets a white girl. Now, you've been telling him all his life he's nothing but a cracker-loving Oreo. So then when he goes out, gets a cracker, you're going to be mad. After you told the guy, you told him that he was so lame, this, that, whatever the hell. What are the kids saying now? He had no swag, right? You gonna tell him that he might as well go and get a white girl. Even though a lot of the white girls that like black guys want niggas with swag too. That's besides the point. And then he gets a white girl and you get upset. What? So, sisters who are going to YouTube, might be listening to this video for answers, going to every place but God where you should be going for your answers, to God. You've got to get these guys when they want to come up. Because if you get them when they want to come up, they'll stay with you if they're really good guys. Yeah. I've been married for a long ass time. So, it can happen. I know a lot of people like that. A lot of people I know that have been married for a long time and got together when they were relatively young. So don't tell me it can't happen. It can. Stop looking at all the statistics about who don't get married and pay attention to who does get married. See, if you want to get married and you want to get a brother, why don't you mimic the behaviors of the people who did what you want, even if they are white? If white lady didn't use racial benefits, and it's kind of hard to argue that she didn't under the type of system that we live under where, we consciously or subconsciously give somebody white the benefit of the doubt or hold them in a high regard through the social conditioning. That aside, why don't you flat out ask people if you have to. Look at the women who got the kind of man that you feel that you want. Find out what she did yesterday to get him, what she does today to keep him, and what she will do with him tomorrow. Ask. People love to talk about themselves. Ask the couples how they met. You'll find out a lot. Bet if some of you ask your grandparents how they got married, he had a job, he was working, and he seemed like he was nice and respectful. That was good enough for grandma. Y'all girls want to go out and get these guys who's... I'm going to tell you now, ladies, if his hair looks better than yours, the relationship is probably not going to last because you're both in love with the same person. Him.